What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the stream. And so we are going to be wrapping up year 3. Hopefully this video doesn't get screwed up like it did with last year's video. I double checked and making sure I'm recording. I'm going to double check that everything gets posted before I kind of go on and move on and save anything like that. But hopefully it doesn't get screwed up. But as you can see, we are 6 games out of first place in the AL Central, behind the Detroit Tigers, who are surprisingly in the lead there. Our elimination number is down to 8, and everybody else is in front of us, so it's going to be really difficult for us to do anything there. As far as the wild card goes, we are 3.5 behind the White Sox and Rays for that third wild card spot. Our elimination number is 11. And there are quite a few teams in front of us too. So making the playoffs is going to be a challenge, but we're going to do the best we can. I got to be honest, I'm happy with how we looked mid-season. As I mentioned in the last video, that we were not looking great, but we've kind of bounced back in the second half, so I am proud of that. But right now, we are at the end of the AA season. As you see, we just finished up with a loss, unfortunately. So let's go take a look at some of the prospects down there. Diego Ramos, our first-round draft pick from last year. Not the greatest season, but he did get some pretty good growth across the board, +4 to both those powers, and +5 to contact left. So not too upset. He's only 19 years old, already up to a 65 overall. Probably will start him in AA next year with a look to try to get him up to AAA at some point. A couple guys I wanted to point out. Rob Voila, blah, 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 was one of our draft picks that was not very good in our first draft, but he killed it when he was on the field this season. I see a nice slash line there. I did give him a 1 potential bump up to 67 because he's had a couple of good years and the game is not very good at rewarding those players. Robbie Lewis, I actually gave a 2 potential bump, which was enough to actually break him into the 70s. So he does have a C potential now. I remember him having a decent season last year. I threw him into AA with like a 55 overall, and he actually kind of held his own. And then you see what he did this season. I mean, that is an outstanding slash line for a 19-year-old in AA. So that is impressive. I felt like he was deserving of a 2 potential bump there. Jose Zarate was another draft pick from last year. He's been up and down with a bad. You see, he's only 59 overall. It's just his age is what worries me. He's been progressing slowly the last 2 seasons, but he's already going to be 23. He's going to have to kind of show out next year. Otherwise, we're probably going to look to probably just dump him. Yason Morrible was one of the guys we picked up in the trade deadline last year. Don't love what he did this year. Might actually consider bumping his potential down. Same with Glider Figueroa. When you have a slugging under 300, that is not good, especially when you have decent power numbers too. So, I mean, not great from these 2 guys. We're hoping to get something a little bit more out of them when we traded for them. And then Braylon Tavera is the last guy I want to talk about. He finished the season on a pretty good hot streak. He was hurt for a good chunk of the season. I like the power numbers. You see he's up over 400 slugging, so not too bad. Still needs to do a lot of work. He's going to be 21 next year, so kind of in a similar boat to, well, not Zarate because he's still 20, but he's going to need to kind of pick up the pace with his development some. Doubling over to the pitching rotation, we did bring back Andrew Hoffman because we needed some pitching depth in season, so not worried too much about him. Drew Gray was a guy we picked up mid-season. The only guy here that's really a prospect is Luinder Avila, and he pitched decently, so he'll probably start next season in AAA at 24 years old, and we'll see what we can get out of him. And nobody else really to speak of. It's all just depth guys over there. So let us go to the end of the AAA season and see what happens. Bobby Witt's out. That's not going to help us there. Peraza's out. Peraza's back. So we did pick up a couple wins in the majors. Let me go make sure those guys are back in the lineups as they are supposed to be. Great. Michael Massey hitting third is exactly what I want in my lineup, but whatever. I don't care enough to be that critiquing of it. All right, Bobby Witt's back. It was only for a couple games, so. All right. Put Bobby Witt back in the game. There and there. Wait, what? No. The Waters is supposed to be there. Right. I don't know how that got mixed up. Oh, you know what, Matt? I did just notice something. Merrifield, I do not want leading off. Merrill, how did this get messed up here? Right. I wanted Lofton to lead off. McLean hit second. Shoot. I don't remember how I had this. No, you know what it was? I did have McLean leading off, and then because I wanted it, right. Let's just do that and call it a day. All right. Sorry about that. I don't feel like my lineup got mixed up. It's not exactly how I had it. So, anyways, last two games. Austin Slater still on the IL. And then let's sim this last one. Okay, let's go check out some of the AAA guys. Some guys I wanted to point out here, so let's take a look. Jose Salas, the guy we picked up at the deadline. Really, really good season. Now, he did a lot of that work before he came up to us. So this is a guy who probably will be on the 40-man roster this offseason. We'll see. Diego Hernandez kind of seems like a quadruple A player. He hits really well at AAA, but can't do anything in the majors. He's already failed a couple times in the majors. Probably will look to dump him in the offseason, but we'll see how things shake out. Tucker Bradley's a similar story. Doesn't play well in the majors, but doesn't even do really well in AAA anymore. So he'll probably be dumped because I think he's maxed out at 71 potential. Jordan Nwogu had a really good season. I gave him a 2 potential bump to 71 because he had a good year last year too. Shouldn't affect him too much because he's already 69 overall. He's already 26. So, but I felt like he was deserving of that. Jason Vina. Can't remember where we got him from, but it was a trade with somebody. He has not performed well. Looks like more of a defensive profile over bat here. So, yeah. Lisandro Rodriguez, the guy who hits pretty well and gets on base, but not for a ton of power. Not too bad. Somebody I want to keep monitoring going forward. Decent defensive numbers as well. That's everything I want to talk about for hitters. Let's go look at the pitchers. Dylan Lesko, he had a very good season for us. Loved the growth he was able to get in his second season with us after we traded and acquired him from the Padres last year. So excited about him. We might be able to try to get him in the majors at some point next year. Ben Cood did have a good year at AA, but AAA numbers leave a lot to be desired. So we'll see what we can get out of him next year. Brian Lucas, our first-round draft pick from our first draft. Not a bad season. So he's already up to 70 overall. He'll be 24 next year. So we'll be looking to try to get him in the majors. Frank Mazzucato, good season at AA, not so much at AAA. Very similar story to Ben Cood. Pedro Velasquez, he did have a good season at AA and AAA, but he only pitched 10 games at AAA. So good growth from him. Dylan Coleman's a guy who did okay at the majors, did really good at AAA, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. Maybe keep him around as an up-down guy. Jose Quios will be gone. He did not have a good year at AAA, and his numbers at AAA leave a lot to be desired. Justin Dunn will be gone. Probably be done with TJ Sycamore as well. That experiment failed him, and I go lefty in the bullpen. Might move Noah Cameron to a lefty role, though, because he was pretty good in the bullpen. And then Beck Way, a couple of good seasons out of the bullpen. Maybe move him to a bullpen pitcher full-time because it just seems like he could probably be a decent starter, but he's just getting passed up by other guys. I'd rather see other guys in the rotation instead of him. So we'll have to see. I'm definitely going to keep him around, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with him. So, all right, we are still sitting 5 games out of 500. Under 500, we are eliminated from the Central and 4 games from the wild card. So let's try to get to the end of the season here and see what happens. All right, so that loss does not help. Gonna need, that's probably gonna eliminate us, I'm gonna assume. Oh, we're down to 1. And so I'm gonna guess we probably are out. We are out, so. All right, so let's just finish up what we got here. We've got 2 games in the Colorado Rockies series, and love that, how we went down without a fight in those final 2 games. So, all right, let's check out how guys ended up. So Matt McLean, like I told you guys in last episode and the previous episode beside that, the dude was a dog. As you see, he got that bump to B potential. So I love this acquisition. Huge acquisition for us. Super excited about this kid going forward. Love that he's going to be a nice, stable presence in our lineup going forward. MJ Melendez in his all-star season. The average could be better, but I'm not going to hate on it because the slugging, the on-base percentage were right on point, so not bad there. He's getting pretty close to his potential, so he's not really going to grow too much more. I love the batting numbers. Obviously, the hitting numbers leave something to be desired. My profile more as a DH going forward. Maybe we try to look to acquire a good all-around catcher in the offseason, see who's available. Bobby Witt, If you're not going to take walks, I'm going to need a better average out of you, something up around the 270 range at least. The slugging is fine. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I need the average to be another 20 points up so that OBP can be at least over 300. But overall, 12 plus bumps to the power against righties. So pretty good season powering against righties for him. He does have that discipline up to 40, so I'd like to see those walk numbers look better, but he's progressing in the right direction there. He does have 4 more potential left, I believe, to grow. So we've got some room for growth. He probably, because he's only 25, he might reach that max potential next season. So we'll see where he's at. And he's still under contract for quite a few more years. Vinny Pasquantino, this dude was a baller all season long. You guys know that. Drew Waters was worrying me. He did finish on a hot streak, though. And actually got the numbers to a semi-respectable area. So I think he's pretty much maxed out of potential because he's 79, so not much growth. I wish he would have gotten a little bit better defensively. I should have probably been training his fielding and reaction, but he had a little bit too many flaws with his bat. But he profiles as a decent right fielder. I wish he was a little bit better, but not too bad. Gavin Cross was a baller. I love that in his first cup of coffee. Surprised he didn't grow even more overall than only getting to the 74. But I was worried about him because he hadn't performed well so far in the minors. But I threw him in the majors after being hot at AAA all season, and he struggled for a little bit, but then he took off. So I'm really excited about this kid. Caden Wallace was doing okay, but it finished on a massive cold streak. Yeah. But he's only 23, he'll be 24. He'll start probably in the AAA next season. So hopefully he can get off to a hot start, and then we'll see him maybe mid-season next year. Let's see. Looks like they already sent. I don't know where is Jackson Merrill, so let's go find him real fast. Jackson Merrill, let's see how he finished. I don't know why they sent him back to AAA. Not great. Only a $1.93 in his first cup of coffee. Did steal 4 bases, so that's okay. I just wanted to see what he could do. I didn't think he was MLB ready, but I needed somebody up there to play second base, and I felt like a good opportunity. Definitely starting him in AAA next year. Gonna need to see more bumps to that contact and power than he got this year. So, yeah, he's also going to need to kind of start progressing a little bit quicker, so a little too slow for my liking, but again, not worried. He's only going to be 22 next year, so, all right. And then the last guy is Oswald Peraza. He did get that power going down the stretch of the last month and a half of the season. So the on-base percentage is not great, but what was his walks? Okay, his walks just a little bit below league average, so I'm okay with that. It's really a reflection of his average. And then the power, being able to get the slugging up to 340, considering where he was at. So nice end to the season for Oswald Peraza. Let's see, on the bench, Massey was awful. He's done. I'm not dealing with him anymore. He can't hack it. Nick Lofton is a nice little bench piece, although the numbers did not look great at the end of the season when he was playing in a full-time role. But I like him as a bench piece, as a super utility guy. Higashioka, yeah, I mean, backup catcher, don't really care. Tucker Bradley and Diego Hernandez we already talked about. Don't know why they're up here again. The game does weird things. Let me go check and see what pitchers they sent back down. So Tink Hence, not bad. Let's see what his FIP was. Not great. So not bad. A little more home runs and walks that I like, but not a bad first cup of coffee for him. That's it. Let's see what any relievers they sent down. Jackson Kowar, not bad. Probably going to keep him around as an up-down guy because I like what he can give me. Walks a little high, but home run and Ks per 9 numbers are in the range of what I'd like to see. And yeah, that's all the guys they sent down. Let's go check out the rest of the rotation. So Tyler Mahle, pretty good season. Again, he's not really an ace with these numbers. He's more of a 2 or a 3. So, but he's giving me those numbers. I just need somebody to come in and be that ace. Brady Singer got slapped around too much. This is why I'm hesitant to give him an extension. Oh, he's going to be a free agent. I didn't just realize that. Huh. I thought he was going to have 1 more year left. Maybe he will. Let's see. I don't know how that number shakes out. I feel like he's going to be a free agent. It says free agent down there, but sometimes that's not accurate. So I'm hesitant to give him an extension, but I might have to. We'll see. Good FIP though. The strikeouts and the hits per 9 were just not where I want them to be. Everything else is pretty much on point. So. I'll have to do some thinking on him. Martin Perez was decent actually on the season as a whole, but more of a back-end starter, not a mid-rotation starter as I'd hoped. So I'm going to let him go into free agency in the offseason. DL Hall, let's see what his numbers. So too many hits. Yeah, that's too many hits. Strikeout numbers were insane, though. 12.49. 4.22 is not bad. That's too high, and that's too high. All right, I'm going to have to take some time to decide if I want to move him out of the rotation or keep him in it. He's not going enough innings per start, which taxes my bullpen a lot. So, yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of thinking to do with a couple of guys right now. Nick Nastrini, guy we acquired from the Dodgers, pretty good season out of him. FIP and component ERA look good, so I like what we're getting out of him. Prelando Baroa, he really had a good second half of the season specifically, so good numbers for him. Hayden Younger, not super great, but what was his FIP? Yeah, FIP's okay. Too many home runs. I mean, that really what looks like what it is. Yeah, too many home runs, too many hits. So still somebody I'm excited about going forward. So we pitched with him in that last episode, and he kind of balled out. I was talking about Angel Zerpa in that last episode, too. This guy just keeps putting up solid numbers after solid numbers. He's only going to be 26 years old, so I like him as a staple in our bullpen. Asa Lacy had a pretty good season. Walk numbers near the end of the season were pretty good. Love his FIP. Taj Bradley struggled on the year. He was up and down. I did like some of the stuff he did early on, but he struggled late. He'll be competing for a rotation spot next year, but I'm probably going to at least get him in the majors in some form or another. Josiah Gray was pretty good, but his numbers are a little bit like a lie because his FIP wasn't great. So I got to decide if I want to keep him or bring him back. So another decision to make there. Dylan Coleman we talked about. Ryan Stanek was outstanding per usual. ERA ballooned over 3, probably had a couple of bad outings in the second half, but no big there. So, and then just quickly look at our injured list. Gleyber Torres, talked about him. He had a pretty decent first season with us. Austin Slater did not. Could not hit righties. The lefty numbers weren't as good as I'd hoped. And then Gabriel Gonzalez and Carter Jensen we did not look at. And we cannot look at because the game will not let me see their stats. So, we are off to the postseason here. And let's go see what the deal is here. So, White Sox beat the Angels. Tigers beat the Rays. Diamondbacks beat the Padres. And the Braves beat Milwaukee. So, let's go another week. All right, so the Yankees beat the White Sox. And the Astros beat the Tigers. Cardinals beat the Diamondbacks. And Braves beat the Giants. And we have mostly fresh series. Let's go another week. All right, St. Louis is in. Let's go over to the Yankees and see what happens there. So the Yankees are up 3-2 on the Astros. Okay, Game 7. Wow, the Astros take Game 6 and 7 to go to the World Series. Nice. All right, so first pitching matchup, we've got Christian Javier with Framber Valdez. Framber Valdez used to pitch for the Astros, so this is interesting. And wow, 10-1. They messed up Framber Valdez. Game 2, all right, they split. Series is on. All right, win for the Astros, win for the Cardinals. Win for the Cardinals. All right, the Cardinals can win. Blake Snell versus Sean Manaea. Oh, and it's a win for the Astros. We have Frankie Montas versus Matthew Liberatore for the win. And it's going to be the Astros taking down the St. Louis Cardinals. Can't say I'm disappointed by that one. Go Cubs, go. Anyways, it looks like this might have been a blown save because we got a couple of relievers up there. And the Astros scored 3 in the 9th of Game 7 of the World Series to win. Who blew that save? Wow. Pretty decent start from Liberatore. The bullpen was cruising until Anthony, Misivich or something like that. I don't quite know how to say that. Wow, touched up for 3 runs. And then Giovanni Gallegos, the former Cardinal, comes in and slams the door, but he did give a run. But wow, that was an exciting finish. So let's go check out some of the awards, and then we're going to get out of here. Who was a league leader? Stolen bases, Bobby Witt with 29. That's actually a little lower than I think the new rules are going to cause stolen bases to be a lot higher. So, all right, so let's look at some awards. World Series MVP, Chas McCormick. Not a great regular season, but hey, played some hero ball in the postseason. He was also the postseason MVP for the American League. Brian Reynolds for the Cardinals. Really outstanding. I told you guys before, this guy's a cheat code in this game. He just look at this. This guy's a freaking cheat code in this game every year. I love acquiring him every year. He's going to be available this offseason free agency, so we'll see if we can pay him, but he's going to be worth a lot of money. But we do need a center fielder. Who knows? Okay, let's move on to MVP. So we've got, obviously, Brian Reynolds. Looking at those numbers, I'm not surprised at all. Jose Ramirez. I think I would have given it to Altuve. Ooh, Riley Green with a big season too, but I would have given it to Altuve with that slash line. Cy Young, Julio Urias pitching for the Twins. Shohei Ohtani, who is on the Diamondbacks. Shohei Ohtani did not have a good first season. Must have been hurt there. I'm still hitting like a baller too. So, batting title, Brian Reynolds. No surprise. Wow, Juan Soto hit a really good hitters in the National League. And then Riley Green won in the American League. Hendricks and Chad Green, Rookie of the Year. Yuri Perez, no surprise there, one of the best pitching prospects and top prospects in all of baseball in real life. And Marcelo Meyer, not bad there. What about Tristan Peters? Yeah, I probably would say Meyer. Hank Aaron Award, Reynolds and Altuve. Skip through Gold Gloves. Winker and Ohtani. Andy Rodriguez. MJ Melendez won a Silver Slugger. Very nice. Very nice. No. I mean, a little bit more power out of Melendez, but I would have given that to Rutschman. But hey, I'll take it. Naylor. Bro, stop it. Pasquantino gets snubbed. Just wow. That's just highway robbery by Josh Naylor. I'm sorry. That's frustrating. Christian Walker over Matt Olson, Adam Frazier, and Jose Altuve, Jose Ramirez. Bobby Witt should not have been on this. Not good enough average or on base percentage. Josh Rojas, O'Neal Cruz playing for the Giants at this point now. Wow. Tim Anderson, Riley Green, Brian Reynolds, Juan Soto, Julio Rodriguez, Luis Robert, and Ronald Acuna. So. All right, well, that's all I got for you guys in this episode. I'm going to go do the offseason. I might try to make some money moves. I think there's going to be some pretty big names available in free agency. We're going to try to sign one star. I think if we can get one star in our lineup and maybe another top-end rotation starter, something like that. I don't know. We'll see how much money we got available. Maybe we'll do both. Maybe we'll only do one. Maybe we won't do any. Maybe we can't afford anybody because we are a small market team. But anyways, in the meantime, between time, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm gone. Deuces.